So today, we're going to finish our series. If you've missed it, make sure you go on YouTube, catch up with the last 5, the last 4. Today's the last one. And today, we're going to kind of culminate the whole thing with talking about friendship. Friendship. It's a massive deal to me, massive topic to me. And we're going to kind of go through the book of Proverbs today. Kind of an overview. There's this book in the Old Testament. It's called Proverbs. It's literally a book on how not to be stupid. That's what the book is. Don't be stupid. He calls it a fool, like don't be foolish. And it's this whole comparison between the foolish and the wise, this whole comparison of these lives. And the main theme of the book of Proverbs is about relationships. Relationship with yourself, relationship with your job, relationship with your hand, like your job, your craft, relationship with others. It's a whole book about relationships. And so today I'm gonna kind of give you an overview of the 30 chapters, if you will. All the times it mentions the word friend. There's 5 friends the book of Proverbs says do not have. 5 friends the Bible says in the book of Proverbs do not have these friends. We're gonna deal with the 4 friends it does say to have today. There's 4 friends that say you should have these friends. And so we're gonna jump into the book of Proverbs. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I'm hopefully really challenging to you. But let's pray as we jump into the Bible this morning. Father, I thank you for your word. I thank you for every single person in the house this morning, even on this holiday weekend. God, so many people, so many plans and travel and tournaments and work projects and so much going on this weekend, God. But we're here. We're here to focus on you, think about you. Speak to us today. Open our mind, open our ears. God, we're not here just to play church and do the church thing. And God, speak to us through your word. Speak to us today about friendship. God, one of the most important relationships that we will have our entire life are the friends that we choose to do this life with. Would you speak to us today? In your mighty name I pray. And everyone said? Amen. Amen. Thanks, Josh. Good to see you, man. He's single, if you're interested. Just throwing it out there. The Bible opens up in Genesis chapter 1 with, in the beginning, God, and then opens up with these very interesting details. It starts with the details of the world. He created the stars and the sky and the moon and the sun and the land and the waters and the animals and the trees. He goes all the, in the beginning, God. He starts creating. Day 6, he creates man. And then day 7, he rests. And then the Bible then goes in the end of Genesis 1, early Genesis 2, as Adam is created and Eve is created. And it says this very, very interesting phrase in Genesis chapter 1. The Bible says he looks at all of his creation. He goes, this is good, this is good, this is good. And then he looks at man and says, for it is not good that man is alone. It's the first time in all the Bible that God says this is not good. He says the stars are good, the land is good, the sea is good, the sky is good, the animals are good. And then he looks at man who is alone. It's just Adam at this point, no Eve. And he says, it's not good. This is not good that man is alone. I raise the question, Lord, he's not alone. He's not alone. He has God. He has uninterrupted. This is before sin. This is before the fall. This is before the separation of God and man. He has uninterrupted divine connection to the divine, to the creator. He's talking to God, like audibly talking to God. He is animals. All of you animal lovers, he is animals. All you nature lovers, he is nature. All of you selfish people, he has himself. So my debate is he's not alone. Those are like, I'm good by myself. I have me. I don't need anyone. I have nature. I can go on runs. I can go to the beach. I can go to the mountains. I have animals. I have my dog. I have my cat. What's wrong with you? My debate is he's not alone. He has God. And God still looks at Adam going, I'm not enough for you. It's very interesting that God is looking at a pre-sinful man who has himself, has God, has animals, has the ocean, has a job, and he goes, this is not good that you're alone. And he brings Eve in. And then the Bible says we fall apart, we sin. You can read the rest of the Old Testament. It's a whole story about how we screwed this whole thing up. And then this is what's interesting. When Jesus dies on the cross, How many of us think that the cross of Jesus or the payment of Jesus is only reconciling us back to our Father, but not reconciling us back to our brothers and sisters? So you must understand this. When sin entered the equation, it did not just ruin our relationship up, it ruined our relationship sideways. How often do we think our salvation is only affecting our vertical relationships, not our horizontal relationships? Because sin did not just separate you from your Father, it separated you from your brothers and sisters. See, the cross of Jesus, the salvation of Jesus, is not just bringing us home back to Him. It's bringing us back home to each other. How often do we think that when we sin or when we don't live according to the plan, it's only separating us from Him, not each other? As if our sin or our sidestep or our mistakes or our shame, whatever verb you want to use, is only ruining this relationship, not this relationship. And He brings us back into family. He brings us back into friendship. My title for my sermon this morning is Crowded Loneliness. Crowded loneliness. And I didn't come up with that phrase. I'm not that smart. There's a whole study. Somebody like, wow, what a catchy. I didn't come up with that. It's an entire, I will out myself, okay? Some of you are like, Pastor's really clever. I am, but that's not my phrase, okay? There's a whole study right now that we're dealing with crowded loneliness. We are around everyone. And yet we will leave rooms like this feeling like no one knows our name. No one knows who we really are. And I'm known by no one, but you'll DM 30 people today and still feel by yourself. We have convinced ourselves that the number of followers you have on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram are your actual friends. And you have lied to yourself emotionally and psychologically that they know you. They know what food you ate. They know what you're going to wear today for your outfit of the day. They know what you tell them. And yet we can have so many friends but feel absolutely isolated, lonely, desperate, and yet you're the most popular person at work. It's interesting to me how the most charismatic, outgoing, popular kid at school thinks they actually have no friends, does not know anyone, and deeply what is their response? No one really knows me. And yet we have more access to people than any generation ever. We can get on a plane and fly anywhere. We can FaceTime people and see their face on a phone. And they live in Australia and you're right there, and yet we feel like we're miles and miles away. You have more access to friendship than your grandparents did by 1,000,000. Every app, phone, text, and yet we feel crowded loneliness. Psychologically and scientifically, people would right now say, very smart people would say, that we're having an epidemic of loneliness. And we don't know how to fix it because we thought by giving people more avenues to be friends, they would be friends. So Periscope went down, so we get Vine. You guys remember Vine? Vine didn't work, and so we get Twitter. Twitter didn't work, so we get TikTok. TikTok's not going to work, and it will be whatever the next one's going to be called. Then Instagram and Facebook and MySpace. Top 8 was the coolest thing in the whole world about MySpace. We weren't really friends if I wasn't in your top 8. And so we had AIM. We had, weirdly enough, we just keep reinventing the wheel as if it's going to fix what we feel. So what is going on? This is what I'd argue. And I think this is what psychologists will argue. We are convinced that more friends will fix it. And I would submit to you, it is not more friends that will fix it. It is deeper friends that will fix it. Psychologists will say that on the average, a human being can only have 7 to 10 close friends. That's it. 7 to 10. Close, intimate friendship. That's all we can humanly handle. When you and I use the word friend, we think of a work friend. Oh, they're my friend. I know their name. I know their spouse's name. I know where they work. I see them at church. I say, hi, they're my friend. The Bible has no word for that person. We would call them truly more acquaintances and person I know and a work buddy. The Bible's word for friend is what we would call family. A deep, the Bible actually, with the word friend in the Hebrew, is interwoven communities. Interwoven. You see, we started with ideas of clans, tribes, communities, and families, and now we glorify individualistic living. It's American living. We glorify individualistic living, but we were made to live in clans, tribes, communities, family. We were made to raise each other's kids. We were made to live in interwoven, interdependent communities surrounded around Jesus. I love what this author says. He's one of the leading psychologists about what's going on in our friendship world. He famously says, we're the generation that watches friends without having them. We're the generation that watches our friends. We don't have friends. I'm gonna get in your business this morning. Do you have friends? I do not mean, can you name names? I don't mean, do you know their Twitter tag? I don't mean, do you know their title at work? I don't mean, do you know their kids' names? Which I'm so bad at. I mean interwoven, interdependent, friendship at the deepest core that people know you and you know them. Do you have that? And if you don't, I am begging you to pay attention today. Because literally, it will change your entire life. My mom is from Australia. Born and raised, still has a thick accent. She's not an American citizen. She will never be an American citizen. She refuses. She tells everyone, I'm not an American. I'm like, Mom, you lived here for 48 years. I'm not an American. Like, she is an Australian. My dad, his father, came on a boat to Ellis Island from Portugal. So I'm the result of two families immigrating to America. I'm half Portuguese, half Australian. I have no family anywhere near me. I have no cousins. I have no uncles and aunts. All of my family still lives in Australia. The other half lives in Portugal, or the other half lives in Arkansas somewhere. We don't know where they are. That's the truth. They'll probably find some alligator somewhere. I don't know. I've never met my dad's siblings. I've never met my uncles and aunts. I've never met all of my cousins. I was raised with the idea that when you join a church, you get uncles and aunts. You get cousins. You get siblings that I never had. I had 3 sisters. I have no brothers because God hates me deeply. I have no brothers. Like what I'm sharing to you today, if I was dying tomorrow, this would be my final message. I'm serious. Get friends. Not acquaintances. Not randos that you know their name and you sit next to in church. I mean, when you join an interwoven, interdependent, life on life, not phone on phone friendship. Friendship that you need. And I know I'm speaking to many of you, you're like, I don't have that. You need it. And don't, after service today, walk up to someone and go, is it you? That's not, I don't know if that's gonna go well. Like, people bring up like my relationship with like Jeremy and Justin often. Like, I want friends like that. Cool, stick around for 16 years then. Well, that's a long time. I know. So why would you think that you and the guy you met at the Connect group last Friday would have a 16-year level commitment and we get mad because we don't want to put in the time? What I'm sharing today is going to take a long time. Do it over and over. I don't think they're at the service, but my friends Michael and Sarah go to this church. We've been friends for 25 years. It's a long, long, long time. That's older than some of you in this room. And I hate you. So what I'm saying today isn't like you go meet someone at the cafe and go, I found him. Maybe, but show up in 8 years still, 15. And so right now, you might be right now meeting lifelong friends. You just don't know it yet, but you have to show up to find out. Number one. Number two is, as I share these 4 friends today, before you start looking around, look within. Before you start pointing, are they it? Is she it? Is he it? Go, am I it? Am I these 4 things? Because you only attract what you are. You only attract what you are. So like if you only have dramatic friends, you might be dramatic. It's so funny to me how even in churches, people always find who they are. The gossips always find each other. Always. They always do. The drama people always find each other. Those like want to go to church but not live like Christians the rest of the week always find each other. It's the wildest thing. Why? Because you only attract who you are. So as I go through these 4 today, first and foremost ask, am I that? Because I want that, so am I that? Listen, you showed up, we might as well just have church, okay? So, okay, here's the 4 friends that Proverbs says that you should look for, and that friends are. The 5 friends, I'll just tell you that the Proverbs says you should never have is an angry friend, a gossiping friend, a lazy friend, one who loves evil, and what was the 5th one? Angry. Oh, lustful. Those are the 5 friends you should never have. Once you are angry, gossip, are lazy, love doing evil, and are lustful. Those are the 5 friends Proverbs says, avoid them. Just avoid them. We're not talking about the negative side today. We're talking about the 4 friends you should have. Here's what friends are. Number 1, friends are dependable. Friends are dependable. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother, or a deeper level friendship, is born for adversity. The word in Hebrew, at all times, literally means in all weathers. In all weathers, at all times. Better translation, in all seasons. It literally means do not choose fair weather friends. That is what it means in the Hebrew. Find a friend that loves in all seasons, in all weathers. The next phrase, and a brother is born for adversity, it's literally storms. It's this idea, this whole verse in Proverbs 17:17 is about weather, friendship, storms. And he says, if you're going to find friends and you're going to live interwoven, find friends that are faithful. Find friends that are dependable. Find friends that are not here for the sun and gone for the rain. Do not find friends that find you when you get the raise, because you can pay tonight. And they're gone when you get fired. Don't find the friends when they love you when you're dating the right person, and they're gone when you're dating the wrong person. Find friends that are so dependable, and come sun, come rain, come storms, come valleys, come mountaintops, they are as consistent as Jesus. They're as consistent and as faithful as Jesus. The first thing you must ask yourself is, am I dependable? My dad used to always say that sketchy friends are like the watermelon seed you can never grab a hold of. You ever try to grab a watermelon seed and it's just moving everywhere? So often that's what your friendships look like. Every time you need them, they just move a little bit. And they're always busy. You can never find them. You never get a hold of them when you need them. See, this is the wild thing about deep, dependable friendship is you never feel inconvenienced. The Bible actually, Jesus tells a story about prayer. He goes, I want you to pray to me like a friend at midnight. He goes to his neighbor's home at midnight and bangs on his door asking for bread. Family, if you come to my door at midnight asking for bread, I will punch you in the throat. Like, bread? It's not even an emergency. Bread? Go to Plaid Pantry. You come to my home and knock on my door until I wake up and I finally answer and you go, you got some bread? Jesus relates that to prayer. I want you to bother me at midnight. Even if you think bread's a big deal to me. I want you to treat prayer like a friend at midnight. If you keep coming, I'll get out of bed. That's the same thing that friendship is. You can go to someone's home at midnight and go, I need some bread. And if bread's a big deal to you, bread's a big deal to me. Because I want to be a dependable friend. And I love, go back to that verse 17:17. A brother is born for adversity. When I was young and dumb, I thought that meant like brothers were born to fight. Yeah, we're born for this, let's fight, like. I never understood that verse when I was younger, born for adversity. What it's literally saying is dependable friendships are born for the worst of times. You need friends that when life starts piling on for you, they go, I was born for this. I was born to help you in this moment. I was born to help your children right now. I was born to help your marriage. I was born to get your mind back. I was born to help you turn the business around. I was born to get you out of the miry clay and back where you should be. I was born to help you get out of addiction. I was born for this. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not fair weather. I'm not the sunny friend. I'm the stormy friend. I'm the thundering friend. I will be there in the middle of it. I was born for this. Get you some friends that were born for the worst of times. And I would also send it to you, friends that don't look differently at you during the storm. I find a dependable friend, a faithful friend. Because if you want to be friends for 16, 18, 25 years, you're going to go through some stuff. You will. And you have this friendship that rises up. I was born for this. I was made for this. I ain't going anywhere. Bother me at midnight for bread. Bother me when I'm at work. Bother me when I'm doing something important. Why? Because what I'm doing is not more important than who I am living my life with. Friends are dependable. Question, are you dependable? Are you dependable? Some of you have unread 700 text messages right now. Sketchy. You have 4,900 emails unread. You have 47 voicemails. Are you dependable? Are you there when your friends need you? Are you there? And this is what, I got 15 minutes. This is what's difficult. Is when you're on the mountaintop and your friend's on the valley, where do you go? Do you make your friends come up or are you willing to come down? Because it's one thing when you find out you got the raise and you're pumped, but you find out your best friend just got fired. Where do you go? Are you dependable? Are you trustworthy? Or are you the fair weather? I'm here and I'm gone. Kind of like Oregon weather. I'm here and I'm not. I'm sunny, then I'm rainy. I'm 80, then I'm snowy. See, this is what's hard, is when you're so inconsistent and your friends don't know what version of you they're going to get. It's hard. When they want to call you and text you and be with you, but they go, I don't know which one I'm going to get when I make this phone call. Are you dependable? I love this quote by Helen Keller. Walking with a friend in the dark is better than walking in the light alone. Walking with a friend in the dark is better than walking in the light alone. Number 2, I love this. Friends draw the deep parts out of you. Friends draw the deep parts out of you. Proverbs 20. The purpose, the call in a man's heart is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Exchange the word man's with friendship, companion, that's the same word. A purpose in a friend's heart, the call, the purpose is like deep water. And a friend or a companion of understanding will draw it out. I'm telling you right now, surround yourself with people that draw the deepness out of your heart. Can I help you this morning? If you see it, say it. If you see it, say it. What I mean by that is when you see purpose, when you see call, when you see gifting, when you see anointing, when you see purpose, when you see it in them, say it. Man, I see you do this all the time. You are so good at that. You are amazing at doing that. I've seen you at work. I've seen you lead rallies. I've seen you work your way through the crowd and sit people down one-on-one. I see something in you. Why? Because friends are supposed to see the purpose in another and help draw it out. This is why you must be very careful surrounding yourself with insecure people. Because when they see something in you, they don't see it in themselves, they will not draw it out, they will shove it down. That is why you must be secure in what you have in you. So when you see it in them, you don't feel like blowing their candle out makes yours bigger. And you can see things in them and draw it out. And by the way, first and foremost, if you don't know, there's purpose like deep water in you. There is something in you that you are robbing us of. There are songs that you are robbing us of. There is arts you are robbing us of. There's ideas you are robbing us of. Every one of you in this room have purpose in your soul like deep water. And we need it. Stop being selfish and let us draw out the purpose of deep water in you. Because this is what's weird about a gift. It ain't for you. The gift God gave you is for me. It's not for you. So you acting like you're robbing you ain't robbing you. You're robbing all of us from not allowing God to draw out the purpose like deep water. Not shallow water, not a puddle, deep. Find friends that draw it out of you. Find friends that don't let you get away with being lazy with your gift. Find friends that know if you skip church, they're coming to your home. Amen, I've noticed you haven't played in the band in a while. Why? What's going on? Well, this happened. No, we need you back. We haven't served in a while. You've been at church in a while. Find friends that see purpose in you and refuse to let you walk around acting like it's not there. And they're constantly drawing it out, calling it out, saying it out loud, saying it to you. And then once again, make sure it goes both ways. Don't be the friend that lets everyone else draw out of you, but you don't draw out of them. And can I just say this? You don't have to lie. In that, like if my friend, somebody like, I really think you can make it to the NBA. I'm drawing this out of you. Thank you, but that's a lie. I'm a 6'2" white, average athletic male. I'm not going to the NBA. It's not happening. So I'm not saying make things up. Oh, you could take over the business. I don't know about that. I'm not saying lie. What I'm saying is, this is why you must get praying friends, because you must get behind God and go, what do you see in them? God, what did you put in there? God, what do you see about them? God, what do you know about them? And I'm merely calling out what God sees. So I'm not saying don't make stuff up and just call out stuff because you want them to do it. I'm saying actually get the mind of God for your friends, the mind of God for their future, and you go, God, what do you see in them? I want to see what you see. I want to call out what you put in there. Call out like the deepness of water. Look at Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. It's literally the Hebrew language or words of a blacksmith sharpening the two knives or whatever it is, sharpening. And they're sharpening each other. Iron sharpens iron, and friends sharpen each other. They're sharpening each other. They're equipping each other. They're getting each other better. I love 2 Timothy. It's not up there, but 2 Timothy 1:6. Paul is writing to a young man named Timothy. He's roughly 25 to 28 years old. History would tell us he's leading a church of 20,000 people in Ephesus. He's young. He's freaking out. Paul writes him a letter. It says, Timothy, I see in you what was in your mother Eunice and your grandmother. I see it in you. And then he says this one phrase, 2 Timothy 1:6. Fan into flame the gift that's in you. The Greek word fan into flame is literally blow on the embers. He's not saying, oh, I don't have a fire. Let me find a fire. He goes, there's something in you, Timothy. It's just not inflamed. The embers are there. The embers are still there. Blow on the embers. Don't be scared, Timothy. Don't be scared of your call. Don't be scared of your future. God's put some in you. Blow on the embers. It's not saying make up a fire. It's there. Blow on the embers. Can I just tell you this morning? Find friends that see the embers in you. Whether they're inflamed or not, it's still there. I see it in you. And I'm going to help draw it out. Find dependable friends. Find friends that will draw the deep part out of you. Third, friends that share and confess sin to each other. No amens on that one. Find friends that share and confess sin to each other. Look at Proverbs 28:13. Whoever conceals his transgressions will not prosper, but he who confesses and forsakes them will obtain mercy. You guys ever go to your pantry? You're super hungry and you're going through the back and trying to find something, and you find that banana that's been there like since Jesus walked the earth. And it's like 17 colors. You find the bag of chips back there that you're so excited about, and they're just so old. But you don't find that out till you start eating them. Sin is like that. The longer you leave it in the dark, the moldier it gets. We leave things in our pantries behind all the good things, behind the candy, behind the cake, behind the bag of chips that's new. We hide all of our stuff in the back of the pantry, and it sits there in darkness, getting moldy, getting old. And what's interesting, the banana, all it needed was light. It would have lasted longer. Find friends, and make sure you are this friend, that you are willing to confess and share sin. Now, sin is a hot topic word these days. It literally just means to miss the mark. That God has a mark for you, and you're a human, you're going to miss it. There's a mark on which we're supposed to live, and when we miss it, you sinned, you missed it, you missed the mark. And we as humans, until now, and we walk the streets of gold, you're going to miss the mark. You're going to sin. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to fall. And what is your immediate inkling when you miss the mark? Hide or share? Some of you, it's share to everyone. I mean, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, whatever you can. Everyone. Not healthy. And some of you tell no one. Because what would people think of me if I actually told them this? If they actually knew I ever did that? If I actually said that? Do you have friends that you can actually open the doors of your soul and go, I missed it. I missed the mark. And this is what's hard, when you miss the mark with each other. Church attendance is plummeting nationwide. Not here, because we're awesome. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I can't get most people to come to church more than once a month. That's beside the point. And do you know why? It's bizarre. Because people think church are full of hypocrites. And there's room for one more. I think we've forgotten, because we love Jesus, we automatically don't sin anymore. And this is why, friend, I'm gonna get in your business for a moment. You've gone to 7 churches this last year because you only go until someone's offended you. And you go find a new one. You wait till a connect leader doesn't invite you and you find a new one. Have you forgotten that we're all broken people? And do not mishear me. I'm not saying grave sin. I know there's deep church hurt. Please take me in context. It was it was a joke. You didn't get invited to the connect party. You didn't get invited to the birthday. They had to call about your shoes. What? We're so easily offended. And we don't know how to process not just sinning against God, but sinning against each other. And we need to get better and more mature at how we handle hurt, pain, offense. You missed the mark with me. I didn't like that joke. You missed the mark with me. Well, grow up. You didn't mean it that way. Or, man, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to miss the mark with you. I did not mean to have that joke be that. That's all. It's called ownership. It's called maturity and adulthood, by the way. It's yeah, that's on me. I missed the mark, man. And what do? Keep going. Look at, I have so much to say. Proverbs 17:9. Whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates the closest of friends. It's literally, if you want to keep repeating, you'll lose all your friends. He who keeps repeating separates the closest of friends. Why are you still repeating? Why are you still reliving? If you're gonna constantly be the repeater, you will always be the one who doesn't keep friends longer than 3 months. I always get very weary of people that they have new best friends every 4 months. Always. They come to church, my best friend. 6 months later, they're my best friend John. What about the best friend Alex? No, not anymore. No. 6 months later, new best friend. Why? Because we're good at making friends. We're not good at keeping friends. We're not good at longevity. Why? Because we don't know what to do when Judases kiss us. Some of you are like, I can't believe I had a friend backstab me. You think you're better at friends than Jesus? Do you think you're better at friendship than God? Even Jesus had his best friend kiss him unto death. I wrote a sermon a while ago, I don't know if I'll ever preach it, but how to deal with a Judas. I don't know if I'll ever preach it, but you're gonna have some friends that kiss you to death, not to life. Friendship was so close and painful to Jesus, a centurion did not kiss him to death, his friend did. Consider that. The one who sent him to the cross was not an enemy, it was a friend. You are going to have friends hurt you. You're going to have friends say things that are not funny and everyone laughed. Are you going to choose to conceal a matter in love? or keep repeating. I'm not talking about grave sin. Some of you you should have got rid of that friend. Please take me in context. So you're like, should I go get that friend back? No. I'm not, take me in context, please. Don't soundbite this. What I'm saying is, we need to get better at confessing and sharing sin and not have it be a spectacle, have it just be normal. I sin, man, I screwed up. I need to talk to you. I need to sit down. I need as James says, whoever confesses sin brings healing. Not judgment, healing. Do you have friends that you can sit down and go, I sinned. I need to share something with you. And they don't look at you and go, what? I thought you were the best door greeter at Rose Church's history. Because what we're training people to do is hide their bad parts. Churches are training people to hide their bad parts. And it's not going to bode well for longevity of friendship. Have friends that you can share and confess, conceal. I don't want to conceal this. I don't want to hide my transgressions. I want to get healing. Look at C.S. Lewis. When I read this quote, some of you prophetically, if you know what that means, is God speaking to you in this quote. Listen. To love it all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be certainly be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give your heart to no one, not even an animal. Wrap it carefully around with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in the casket or coffin of your selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, your heart will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, and irredeemable. You don't be hurt by anyone? Go ahead, wrap it up in the casket. Your heart will change though. And it will not be, you won't be broken, you'll be unbreakable. You're gonna get hurt. When I was a youth pastor, the Holy Spirit said this to me once. It's been a model of my life, and people have criticized how I do friendships because they think I'm too close to my friends and blah, blah, blah. If your friends aren't close enough to hurt you, they're not close enough. If you can't be hurt, you're isolated. It's the game of love. If your friends aren't close enough to hurt you, you don't have friends, you have acquaintances. Why? Because we're sinful creatures. We don't mean to. Many of us don't. Some do, I guess. Some are just hard-hearted and evil. But many of us don't mean to hurt anyone. We're hurt. Hurt people. And we're broken, and we're going to sin. I don't know how many people have left the church because they don't like my jokes. I'm sure some people have. I had a girl leave the church a couple years ago because I couldn't remember her name. One Sunday I saw her, and I was like, hey, how are you? I was like, I can't remember her name. She was like, you should know my name by now, and she never came back. I'm sorry. I have a bad memory. Whether it's from me or your connect leader or the person sitting next to you, what are you going to do when we miss the mark? Because how you treat others when they miss the mark is coming back like a boomerang on you when you miss the mark. And isn't it interesting that we only judge our motives but their actions? Friend, be careful what you're storing up. Because there will come a day when you need what you never gave. I'm telling you, be careful. You got a long way till death. You got 30, 40, 50 years. There's going to come a moment when you're going to need what you never gave. Because we need to have friends that we can share the hidden banana in the pantry. There's some moldy areas of in here. I want to conceal it no more. They're kicking me off. Number 4. You think it's your birthday? You can do whatever you want. Number 4. I'll put it somewhere else, yeah? I'm not leaving yet. Number 4, friends who sit with you. This is a wild proverb. Proverbs 25:20. Look at this. It's wild. Proverbs 25:20. Singing cheerful songs to a person with a heavy heart is like taking someone's coat in cold weather or pouring vinegar in a wound. Singing cheerful songs to a friend with a heavy heart is like taking someone's coat in winter. Dude, it's literally saying, when I'm going through it, please don't sing to me, sit with me. Could you imagine the tragedy that just happened with those 19 little baby children that got shot? Me going to their parents going, it's okay, they're in heaven. I would punch you in the face if one of my children got shot and your response was, they're in heaven, smile. I would punch you in the face. I'm barely saved. I'm not that saved. I would punch you in the face. And I'm not a small person. It would hurt. I don't need you to sing with me. I need you to sit with me. I don't need your cheerful song when my heart is being wrung out. I don't need you to sing. I just need you to sit. I was supposed to talk to a friend Friday on the phone, and he called me and said we can't talk, and explained why, and he felt bad because we talk every Friday at the same time, and you'll meet him soon. His name's AJ. He texted me back and goes, thanks for letting me be human. And I was like, what else would I let you be? Like, yeah, dude, it's fine. You're going through a day we can't talk today. It's fine. Like, we need to stop being churches that when people walk in bleeding, we only give them bandages and not just let them sit. And just go ahead and bleed for a bit. Now, I won't let you do it forever. I will start singing to you eventually, but not right now. Because it's like taking someone's coat in the winter. I'm already cold. Why did you take my coat? I'm already hurting. Why are you making it worse? You want to talk about deep, interwoven relationships? Find dependable friends. Find friends that draw the deepness out of you. Find friends that you can share sin with. And find friends that will just sit with you. Look at this quote by C.S. Lewis, and I'm done. Did you sew that, Erica? Did you make that? You did? Did you really? Oh, it's like, wow. That is impressive. You should work for Aritzia. Friendship is born at the moment when one man says to another, what? You too. I thought that no one else but me. What? You too? I thought it was just me. It's when friendship is born, when you go, you too? Man, I thought it was just me. Just you sit. You share sin. You laugh until you pee yourself. You laugh until your side hurts. Probably a better way to say it from a stage with a mic. You call things out. And you just stick around. And I'm telling you what, you look back 8, 10, 15, 30 years from now and go, I'm the richest person on earth. Because my friends are better than yours. And you should feel that way. And we all should be right. I end where I'm sorry, I'm done. This is, as you could probably tell, this is important to me. Do you have friends? Not acquaintances, not serve buddies, which is all great. And if you don't, start looking for the interwoven family of God called friends. friendship. Can you stand to your feet? I'm going to pray for you. I'm 10 minutes and 34 seconds over. Every head bowed, every eye closed. I'm going to pray. We're going to go some songs and worship. Really quick. If you're in the room today and you're like, I don't have what you're talking about. I don't. Never have in my life, or maybe I haven't since I'm an adult, since high school, whatever, college, I don't know. And you know today is a prophetic shift. It's a moment, it's a kairos moment. It's a moment in time. You must make a choice to pursue these. If that's you today and you're like, I need this and I know it, would you just put your hand up? Just man, that's me. I know this is me. I don't have these friendships. I don't have these people. I know it. I know this is me. We don't, as a couple, married couples, same thing. If you don't have any other married couples, this is for you too. It's not just for the single people in the room. Like, I know I don't have this. Father, I pray right now for every hand. Jesus, ultimately, you are this friend. You're the friend that sticks closer than the brother. You're the friend that sharpens us like iron. You're the dependable friend. You are it. But let us be it to each other. God, I pray right now for every hand. If they feel isolated, they feel alone, I take away that feeling right now. I take away the shame, the guilt of isolation, and let us live interwoven with each other, centered around you. In your mighty, mighty name I pray. Let's worship together.